Hey, what's up, bookworms? We're back with another Talk About Nothing. Today, I have pretty much like reading fantasy royalty on the channel. Of course, guys, I don't think by now he really needs much of an introduction, but in case you don't know, Petrik, welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for inviting me. And likewise, man, your channel has been an inspiration for my YouTube channel as well.
Well, likewise, I gotta tell you, man, like I think before I was even doing this, and before we'd even like ever associate with one another, I would get a fantasy book. Like, I'd be interested in that. Let's see what that guy on Goodreads that always has the top review said about it. And I found for the longest time, like everything he says he's liked, except Name of the Wind, everything he's liked,
that's fair.
I pretty much like too. So I have to thank you because things like John Gwynn and Mike Shack, lots of authors that I probably never would have gave a shot if it weren't for you. That becomes some of my favorites. So yeah, the inspiration is all on this end, I think. So I want to talk about Goodreads. How did that happen? That was just totally organic. You just started reviewing everything that you read, and it just kind of got bigger, like a snowball effect. Or how did you become like the top reviewer on Goodreads for fantasy?
I think luck is definitely one of the factors. But when I started Goodreads, it's really like I don't know. I just suddenly decided to do it because I was feeling super like bored with my life back then. And I wasn't a reader. I wasn't a heavy reader of fantasy novels when I started using Goodreads. But I remember back in 2016. That was in 2016. I think Game of Thrones before it turns bad. Okay. I was so obsessed with the movies, and you know what?
Sure.
Maybe there are plenty of books that can give this kind of effect, you know. So I decided to start reading. And when I started reading, I told myself, maybe I should record myself, like the things that I read. So I searched, like, what kind of social media can I use for this? I mean, no way I'm going to use Facebook or Instagram to actually track my reading progress. And then I saw this website, Goodreads. So I just decided to join. And you know what? Because I rarely use my English in my country. So I decided to just write my reviews, even though they were really bad back then. You can still probably track my old reviews. Oh God, I still cringe at those. But I think the algorithm kind of found me on Goodreads before. Right now, the algorithm is super bad. It's even worse than before. It's never been updated. But back then, it was still kind of better than it is. And quite a lot of people found me, and also my newfound passion, I guess, for reading. So because of that, yeah, it just kind of snowballed from there.
That's awesome. That's great, because I think I was using Goodreads really just to track if I had read it or not. Because I think like when I first started the channel, people were like, "Hey, you gotta check out 𝕤𝕉𝕟𝕚𝕟𝕣." I was like, "Oh yeah, I like that book. I read it already." And I was like, "Did I read it?" I could not honestly couldn't remember. So at the time, you know, I wasn't really doing the fancy thing until right as I started this channel and I got in the Wheel of Time. I'd liked fantasy books, but I wasn't reading. I was just rereading like Stephen King books again, you know, and that's kind of what I was doing at the time. But you're talking about like, I was kind of bored with life. I don't think I was really bored with life. I didn't really have like a full hobby that I embraced. Like I like to read stuff, but to actually like go in here and talk about it, you know, I was reading maybe like 15, 20 books a year. Nothing like, you know, now or whatever. This is kind of a happy accident for me, but that's awesome. It kind of like took off the way it has. But you talk about the algorithm. And my goodness, it can't be as bad as YouTube's, but you know, YouTube just kind of stayed the same, hasn't it? But my thing is like, I could never, I would read your stuff and be like, I can't write like this, but I was like, I can ramble about it. And that's why I decided to start doing it. And I didn't think there was a room. No one's interested in what I'm reading, you know, at least in real life. That's how it felt, because I'm sure, you know, not a lot of real life friends read fantasy or sci-fi.
Yeah, true.
Knows that. So that's kind of why I started doing this. So that's awesome. But I mean, when did you start getting like all these authors and all these publishers wanting to send you stuff? And is that when you really
I think it was starting from the year 2018, but definitely did not start immediately because I live in Indonesia. So back then, publishers pretty much hear my place and thought I live in Mars already. No way we're sending you books. Okay. So in 2018, I think it started with self-published fantasy authors sending me books. And then, of course, just like your channel, as we keep on growing and growing, people starting to take notice, publishers start to take notice. I remember the first one that definitely sent me a lot of books. It was Orbit UK. I remember Emily Byron. She started sending me The Gutter Prayer by Gareth Hanrahan. yeah, that was the first time I got a physical copy from Orbit Books. And then after that, yeah, it keeps on growing. And then Tor UK started sending, and sometimes 𝕤𝕠𝕟𝕥, but usually only those three: Orbit, Tor UK, and 𝕤𝕠𝕟𝕥. Usually those three publishing that was sending books to me. Usually,
I remember when I first started, someone said they were going to send me some books. I'm like, "Are you serious? Like for real? Like, do I have to pay you?" Yeah, I had no idea. I complain about the shipping to the States. I'm sure the shipping to Indonesia is probably even worse.
Oh, it's so bad, Mike. It's so bad. Like one book can cost probably 40 to 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About Folio Society, I was like, their books are beautiful, but I was like, I'm not paying as much for shipping as I am the book.
I know.
I still have only got like 2 of those Game of Thrones ones, so it's they're nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get
But
that.
yeah, it's really funny. And then not long after that, like 2 years, and then COVID happened, I started my YouTube channel. That's like after 4 years of writing reviews, I decided. So wow, it's almost 5 years, man, since I started my channel.
I can't believe I'm seeing some of my old videos will pop up sometimes. I'll be like, it has like the 6Y next to it. I'm like, 6 years ago? Are you serious? That's how long ago? And you see, you go back to your views and cringe, like, bro, my Wheel of Time reviews. I'm like, oh God, I'm just like, I can't believe people still watch those. People also tell me like, I still get comments on those so much. It's like because I podcasted before this and my audio and stuff was great, but man, I still struggle with video stuff. I'm just not very smart about video stuff. And those videos were so bad that like the audio didn't match my lips. And it was like I was recording off like a Nokia phone in the year 2000. It was awful, but people still watch those videos and still comment on them. And they'll be like, hey, after I finish every Wheel of Time book, I'll go back and watch this. It feels like I'm reading with you. I'm like, that's great. That's kind of the feeling I wanted to give. But I hate if this is your first impression of the channel because I still get some comments on there. They're like, "Get a better camera, bro," and I'm like, "Watch your recent video, bro." So it's fun. You tell yourself, don't delete those old videos or don't edit those old reviews and stuff. But it's hard, I think, as creators because you look back and be like, well, I guess I've definitely improved.
Yeah, true. That is true. Do you find BookTube easier now or back then? Though, even though back then your camera was still.
I think back then because I didn't have any expectations, I didn't edit anything. Because I don't have a problem with just talking, and so I don't really edit a lot in my videos. And that was always something I think I was going to be able to do. But back then, I like do nothing. It's done. I just pressed upload like Brian Lee Murphy does. I just pressed upload.
Oh yeah.
Like after the channel took off a little bit, I even went back and like started editing the thumbnails so they actually look professional and stuff because it was literally just like it was like me like this. Yeah. Or when I first started, I wasn't even putting my face on there because I was like, I don't want anybody to see my face. I'll chase them off, So I think podcasting first helped me, be able to talk without having a lot of breaks, without saying and like and all those weird quirks we have with English. But when it came to like the video and stuff, I'm still learning every day on it. Brian over at BellTube's trying to coerced me into switching film editing, into DaVinci because I bought DaVinci Resolve like 3 years ago and I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, it's way too complicated.
Oh, that's too complicated. I cannot use it.
Yeah. I was like, Filmora is so easy, man. I was like, I bought the final version of Filmora, but you have to pay like a subscription fee to use all their effects and stuff. I'm like, I don't do all that stuff, so it's not a big deal. But he really talks highly of it. He says, we'll get on like a call. I can teach you in like 2 hours. I was like, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. But yeah, for me, I feel like it was easier then because I didn't have expectations, I guess. I didn't have an audience or anything, and now I feel like you do have like somewhat of expectations. I say keep it fun, don't treat it like a job or anything, but I like to consider myself a professional. So I like to do the best that I can at something. So it's still fun for me. I don't get it like that, but I do say there was less expectations back then because who cares about this idiot on YouTube talking about Wheel of Time books? Had no idea it was such a big thing, but I'm glad you made the jump because you could have probably just stayed fat and happy over there on Goodreads, and now you kind of do both. Do people expect you to do both now? Expect you to do both Goodreads and YouTube? Yeah.
And sometimes it does get hard sometimes, like juggling everything. But at the same time, I do like doing this. No way I'm going to be doing this all the time if I don't like it. But I think you're right, though, about having no expectations. When I started this, I just wanted to improve my English speaking skill because I'm not using it at all in my CD now back then. So I decided to record and improve my speaking. And I think back then there was no expectation. Now every single comment, every single video, there will always be one of or two of those hate comments. Like, I mean, we talk about this already, but if we actually do get paid for our reviews, we will be rich already by now.
You know, I wish we made the money that people think that we make on this platform. But
come on, we don't. We really don't.
It's book money. That's really what it is. You know. I mean, like when you started a Patreon, did you get crap for that? Because I got crap for that. We're not going to pay you to talk about books. Like I didn't ask anybody to pay me. Just you know?
I didn't get too many crap when I started Patreon. Honestly, I actually feel bad for my Patreon. They've been super nice to me.
I wish I could do more for them.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm feeling right now. I feel like I'm not doing anything for them at all, and yet they still support my channel and my Goodreads. And I think even though there are always some hate comments here and there, I think at the end of the day, we always have more supporters. They're just not as loud spoken as the haters, of course.
Well, like I said, with this community, what really impressed me when I started with it is before this, I did sports and I did movies and TV. And, you know, that's the most vitriolic kind of reactions you can get for anything. So when I switched to this, I was like, it's like 99% positive. This is great for me. My wife says because dumb people don't read. But I don't think that's really true, you know. But it was completely just like wow to me. And so when I point out like some of those like hater comments and stuff, I think they're funny. That's why I point them out. I'm like, can you really get that mad because I don't think that book's as good as you do or something?
I know, yeah.
I don't think I'm not even being like salty Petrik on these books here, you know. I feel like I'm giving a good bit. Although salty Petrik's kind of like a meme now, isn't it?
I know it has been a while since he made an appearance.
I think when you were ranting about the spines of some of these books, the first thing I thought of was Daniel Abraham's The Dagger and the Coin. Those are an absolute travesty, and yes, it drives me crazy. So I was glad someone else was mad about stuff like that as I am. And I think when I talked to Jay Kristoff, and he got more mad than I was because my Nevernight books, 2 of them have a black spine, the third one has a white spine, and he was like raged about that. He was like, "I'm going to send you one that they all." That's what I learned. It upsets authors as much as it does collectors. So that's interesting. It feels like it's such an easy thing for publishers to get. I don't know.
I know. Yeah, spine changes when they're not matching, like the Dandelion Dynasty. When I ranted about that, it's funny though. I mean, I have to give it to Saga Press though. They did an excellent job.
Some nice ones, yeah.
They apologized and said it was their mistake. I think it was really nice of them. Not many.
So you caused that. See, you're an agent of change. You caused it.
Yeah, I know. Usually when these things happen, they will be mad at us, but this time it doesn't. I think it's really nice.
So it work for publishers. How did this whole thing? Like, are you into? Did you like go to school for like art direction or anything like that? Because what you're doing with Broken Binding is like incredible.
No, I've been into art for many years. I think since I was in middle school. Back then when I was still much younger than now, I do a lot of art. Yeah, I do a lot of art back then. But after I entered high school, the art hobby just kind of disappeared because I was so into sports. Yeah, into sports and gaming. But that passion for seeing illustrations have always been there. I always loved illustrations ever since I was really young. And I think as a fantasy fan, there are some artwork that I always want to see in the genre. Right. And I like seeing those as best as I could. Of course, the reality in working as an art director is different because there are a lot of things behind the scene that we cannot speak to in public. There are just too many stuff. And I can definitely say that some assumptions about, like, because of this, because of this person directing this end up being that way. It's not true. It's not always that way. There are just some things that happen, like business, like business behind the scene. Some things happen. But yeah, I'm always into art, like Raymond Sonland. I don't know if you know him. That's the artist behind the original cover of The Grey Bastards.
Okay. The really pretty cover. I thought it was Jeff Brown. It's not Jeff Brown?
No, that's not Jeff Brown. That's Raymond Sonland. And then I worked with him on our edition of Hyperion. Did you get that?
I did.
You did, right?
Yeah, you know what's sad? It was such a beautiful cover, but I still I love that original art so much. I had to use it. They gave you that option. They gave you that option to use the original cover if you wanted to. But yeah, they're both beautiful. They're both
beautiful. But yeah, like Raymond Sonland, I have been a fan of his work. Like, I think since the year 2010, Like it's been so long. So when I got like some of the jobs for the Broken Binding, I want to work with Raymond Sonland, and I think Hyperion would be a really good fit, and he's super, super into it. So yeah, but yeah, to put it simply, I'm rambling here, but to put it simply, yeah, I've always been into art, and I have learned art when I was still much younger for several years. So the basic is there.
No, that's great because I mean I remember thinking, oh, I could probably do this, and then I was included in that one that you guys were doing for 𝕬𝕬𝕣.
Oh yeah, you were there, yeah.
And basically, I picked a scene, and I was like, Petrik knows what he's doing. Here's the scene. I'll let Petrik explain it to you. I had no idea how much went into that, and I was like, okay, yeah, maybe I don't want to do art direction because he knows what he's doing. So yeah, it became a lot of me nodding and saying, "Yeah, that looks good, awesome work, guys." Yeah, that was me as art direction right there. No, you guys.
But it is important though. It is still important to see your reaction. I mean, if you don't like it, then what's the point? You still, I mean, readers do still have to like the artwork, the results, and you can provide that. When we were working on the 𝕤𝕬𝕣𝕣, I think it was on the board art, right? The green one. Yeah, the green one, I think. Yeah. Empire of Silence.
It's really surprising because I don't think that I've seen any art that Broken Binding's done not been like. I think it's just really? Like, so when I see every once in a while some backlash or some negative reactions to some, like what there was with Greenbone, I'm like, what are you guys talking about? This is incredible. What are you guys looking for? It looks amazing. I thought those Greenbone ones were really, really slick. Gave me the feeling I had while reading it. That's what I want out of artwork, you know. And you were involved in those, right? The Greenbone one?
Yeah, I was. Oh, I got a lot of backlash then.
Did that ruin your day a little bit, or what? Because I mean, I thought they were.
It did. Like 2 or 3 days, but you know what? At the end of the day, I tried to think of it like we're reading books. It's art, so it's subjective, right? I mean, up to this day, Lord of the Rings is still hated by a lot of people.
It's wild. It's wild. Yeah. But I guess I say like Jeff Brown's like my new favorite. I didn't know Jeff Brown before he started working with Broken Binding, but like the Riftwar ones are like, oh my, this is ridiculous. Yeah. And the Inheritance Cycle. Are you kidding me? Those might be the most incredible books I own, and I've never finished the series, man. That's that. When a cover is so good, it makes you want to read the book, man. That's saying something. And those are just like, wow. My wife has finished it, and when I was opening those, she was like, well, damn, now I want to read it again. So, and like even the naked hardcovers are incredible too. So it's just like, what a dilemma. I need like 3 sets of these so I can display one with the edges out, one with the naked hardcover.
Yeah.
You know, but it's been a blast working with them. I'm glad that they've included me in anything. That's really awesome. But what you got?
I think you deserve it, man. I think you deserve it.
I'm having to rearrange my entire room here because I was like, well, if I want to display anything, I want to display Broken Binding books, and I got them all over here off camera. I got to get those on camera somehow. So I might be doing a remodel like you are here very, very soon.
It's tiring, man. It's so tiring. I just don't know how I can do this, but it's almost done.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome when you're done, right? Just a new location. You guys moved, right?
Yeah. You will see. I think in my next video, it will be in a new place. Okay. I think.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to never move again because when I moved in, I had 2 bookcases. Now I've got like 8. 8? You know, hardcovers are very, very heavy. I don't want to, and I'm upstairs, so I don't want to move again. Yeah, I want to stay here until I go away, until I pass away. So what are you reading right now? That's always the fun question. I know while moving, it's probably hard, right?
Yeah, it's been really difficult to find the time to read, but as I said, I'm reading The Strength of the Few right now. You just got the book, right?
Yeah, I did. I got it in the box over there. Yeah, it's really awesome.
Oh God, I am loving it so much. I don't know whether you will feel the same about it or not, but I think I talk about this many times on my channel, especially this year. This year, reading hasn't been well for me.
Yeah. I had to change some things up because I was like, that's where I'm saying where I felt like all modern fantasy was starting to feel the same to me, and I had to change.
Yeah.
So I get it. But you're digging this.
Yeah, this one, yeah. Well, hopefully it lasts through the entire book. I think I'm about 250 pages. I think the book is like 700.
Yeah, I was talking to James about that. I was like, hey, did it really hurt you to write 𝕤𝕬𝕣𝕠𝕝? He's like, what do you mean? I was like, because it was only like 500 pages. I didn't know you knew how to write a book that short. And he's like, oh, well, wait till part 2. And now, now we're back in that Lycaonius kind of thing. I think with 𝕤𝕬𝕣𝕠𝕝 for me is why I said I liked it but didn't love it. It's kind of like a to be determined, because if I had just read just Shadow of What Was Lost and I had any answers, I might have felt the same. Like, I don't know. Knowing that he stuck the landing, being able to binge that series helped it a lot for me. So I think if I would have been able to binge Hierarchy, I probably, because James seems to be that type of architect who knows exactly where he's going.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure it's going to be great. But I did tell him I wish you'd put a recap in the beginning of the book, because I've read that like 2 years ago, and he said he's going to put one on his website. So I think recaps at the beginning of books need to be standard, right?
I know. Oh my God, Mike, I have mentioned this I don't know how many times now.
3 years, we read so many series. It's like, dude,
I know. How this hasn't become a standard is just so confusing to me. I mean, it's just a few pages. It's enough. It's more than enough. Better than nothing.
Scott Williams was doing it back in the 90s. So I was like, I don't know why this is concept. And I remember talking to Ryan Cahill, and he was just like, just in shambles, writing a recap for War and Ruin, because it was basically a novella, the recap. War and Ruin. And he was talking about that. I was like, but you don't know how much people appreciate that, man, because we read so many fantasy series, so many names and locations and stuff. We're going to forget some stuff. We've got to push stuff out to fit new stuff in. Exactly. So I admire when authors do that. And James did some of the best I ever saw in Licanius. Honestly, the ones that he wrote in Licanius helped me understand some things I didn't understand when I read the book.
Oh, okay, good.
So I thought that was really, really awesome. So with 𝕤𝕠𝕞𝕣𝕣, like, I remember how it ended, but I was like, I'm hoping that I don't forget a bunch of details on the way. But I think he's a good enough author. He'll probably give you a soft recap as you go along. At least I'm hoping. I'm hoping if it's 700 pages, he can do that.
And that is a good reminder that you made, though. I completely forgot that he used to include those recaps from the arcs. Well, the arcs probably doesn't have those, but maybe the finished copy will have the recap part.
I heard a lot of authors saying now that they're going to start doing it on their website, because if their books are so long, like authors or publishers aren't wanting to put that in there because cost of paper and all the books are getting so big. I was like, well, you could not put out every book being 800 pages, but they're going to do that. Would you consider 𝕤𝕠𝕞𝕣 sci-fi fantasy? I kind of feel like the way that the 𝕤𝕠𝕞𝕣 goes, I think it starts as one thing and it kind of ends as like a hybrid of some sorts.
I actually think it does belong in the sci-fi genre. Probably
it's like a Sun Eater, I think, where it's kind of got
science fantasy. Science fantasy is the right genre that I would classify the 𝕤𝕠𝕞𝕣 or the Hierarchy series.
Yeah. All right, I'm excited that you're liking it, though. That's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, I hope you do. I hope you do as well.
Because I know you love book one so much, so I was hoping it wasn't going to be a middle book syndrome with this one, But I just admire that he writes so damn fast, because a series that intricate and that detailed, you would think maybe it would take a while, And maybe it's just I grew up in the school of George R.R. Martin, and I'm just not used to authors putting out books,
Well, George Martin used to be quick.
Think about like those first 3 books came out like before I even started, and it's wild that they came out like in 4 years. 3 books in 4 years, and
now wins how many years now? 12.
I remember reading A Dance with Dragons. My first kid wasn't born. He's 13 now. So I remember reading that the year before he was born. So 14 years ago? And the thing was, we used to think it was a long wait for Dance with Dragons, which was like almost 10 years, and this has surpassed that. So
wow,
at least not Doors of Stone. Hey, people don't realize Doors of Stone's been longer.
Yeah.
It's been a longer wait by like a few months, I think. You think we'll ever see that? You think we'll ever see Doors of Stone?
I try to be positive and think that we will see Doors of Stone and even Winds of Winter. That's my positive thinking. After that, I'm not really sure. I try to just read any other books and see whether they come out or not. I
think we'll get Winds of Winter, even if it's posthumously, but I have no chance of Dream Spring. No chance.
Yeah. It is a dream, man. It is a dream.
I don't know, because I know a lot of people that are with DAW Publishing, and just hear the stuff that I hear, and they're just like, remember when was it Betsy Devon? Who was it that came out like 6 years ago and said,
Betsy,
I haven't seen nothing of Doors of Stone, and everyone just dogpiled her, and I'm like, maybe she was telling the truth, you guys. Here we are 6 years later. Maybe she was telling the truth, So I don't know. It's easy for me to say, hey, why can't you just write? But I don't know. It's something. I feel bad for the people who really, really love that series, because as someone who's been reading A Song of Ice and Fire since the year 2000, I get it. I understand how frustrating it can be. But I think in the good side of it is it taught me there's a lot more great fantasy series. There's a lot more great authors out there to find.
So I wish I wish more readers would realize that there are still so many great fantasy series out there. Whether it's traditional published, self-publishing, there are a lot beyond the most popular series. Hey, it's funny that you mentioned that. I just remember what Nicholas Eames told me back there. I know that he is a huge fan of The Gentleman Bastards, right? The Lies of 𝕤𝕠𝕟𝕟. And The Lies of 𝕤𝕠𝕟𝕟 is truly one of his favorite fantasy books of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that there were times when he kept on saying, why can't you write faster, Scott Lynch? Why? And then he's in this position right now. And then he said, now I know why.
So it's easy for readers to be like, why can't you just do it? And then I was like, but I have a hard time like writing a paragraph and making it like in a text message and making it make sense, So I get it. That's why people. Do you get asked that a lot? When are you going to write something? When are you going to write a book? You get
yeah.
I'm like, no, I have no. Guys don't want me to write a book. It would just be Lord of the Rings Dune fanfic, and it would be awful. I know that Brian Herbert's made a career out of that, but I'm not Brian Herbert.
Oh my God, he writes so many books in the Dune universe. I just don't get it.
I wish people would stop buying them so it would stop like enabling him.
He writes more books than his father.
No, and like Kevin J. Anderson does a lot with them, and I'm like, I like this Star Wars stuff, but I'm like, Kevin, can you please have an intervention with this man and tell him to stop. So, I want to talk about this because I'm reading it right now as a complete out of nowhere read, and that is 20th Century Boys.
Oh yeah.
Naoki Urasawa. I read a little bit of Monster like about 2 or 3 years when I first got into Berserk. And everyone started jumping. You got to try this how it is. You got to try this one. I got so many recommendations, but as a Stephen King fan, so many people told me this would be one that I like. And now that I'm reading, I understand where they were coming from. So you said you've read everything by Urasawa, right?
Yeah, love everything. And it's clear that Stephen King is his inspiration. He has mentioned this many times that Stephen King, as a novelist, is really, truly, as far as storytelling goes, is truly one of his favorite authors. And I think it reflected a lot in his writing.
This basically has the Losers Club from It in it here. And I'm that's all it takes for me, to get me into something like that. But I think it's, with me, the hardest thing with manga is there's so many of them that just go on forever, never seem to end. And it's kind of leading me into something I'm going to talk about here is Vinland Saga just had its official ending. And I have to tip my hat to the author because it seems like since I got into manga, every one of that everybody recommends, except a few, have all been like, well, are they still going? Are they done yet? Like, no, they're still going. And I'm just like, these have been going for like 20, 30 years. And I was like, it seems like these authors get to a point to where either they get bored with it or sadly they pass away. So it's nice to see that one of these long-running Vinland Saga, 20 years, and they actually ended it. That's great. That's incredible. I'm glad that people still do this.
Yeah, I do agree with you. And like you said, like Berserk, it's really sad. I feel so devastated when I found out that Kentaro Miura passed away. But and then there's Vagabond, which I also love, and it's just went on.
That's what's kept me from reading it. Is because it probably won't ever be done.
How many years now? I don't even remember, like 15 years since it stopped.
I've got 10 volumes of it, and I haven't started it because of that. But I think there's only
I think you're gonna love it though. It's really quick. There aren't a lot of writings there. In the beginning, there will be more philosophical stuff at the later stage of the series. But in the beginning, it was constant action, and somehow it just worked really well. Plus, it tells the story of Musashi, right? Musashi is a real historical figure in Japan. And I think that kind of like intrigued me further rather than thinking that this is completely fictional. That's my take anyway.
Yeah, that's what I love about Vinland Saga. I'm like all over, Viking history. It's just something I've always been enamored with. So that's why I knew that was going to be an easy sell for me. The thing was like, for the longest time, I was like, I'm not really interested in reading manga, but American comics got so bad, man. They just got so bad. And I was just like hungry for good storytelling again, because it's like they forget to do that anymore. They can still have incredible, I don't care how incredible your art is, man. If the story is boring, I don't want to keep going. So when I did Berserk, and I was like, it started okay, and then you got Golden Age, was like, oh my god, everybody. Golden Age is like changes for Dresden Files. Like right when you start, everyone's going to tell you how incredible it is, and your expectations are up here, and somehow it tops. True. Golden Age, it's like one of the best coming of age fantasy stories I've ever read. It's so much so that I was like, I felt like after that, it was like it was hard for it to ever reach those highs for me ever again. I liked Conviction. I was okay on Falcon of the Millennium Empire. But that's where I stopped. I didn't go on to what is it, Fantasia? I haven't even gone on to that one yet.
Fantasia, I think Fantasia. But yeah, the Golden Age stuff is just insane.
Yeah, it's so good. And I tell people all the time, like even if you're not into manga, I think as a fantasy fan, you would probably really enjoy that. I mean, it's violent, but
oh.
Yeah. I got to do that with every video now. Is when I just gushed yesterday about Gunmetal Gods.
Oh yeah.
How is it? Amazing. Spectacular book.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I need to read that.
Oh yeah, I think you'd love it. It was really good. And then after I talk about it for 5 minutes, I gotta say, oh, but by the way, it won't be for everybody because it's got a lot of women and children getting killed in war.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to give all these trigger warnings that I'm not used to. That I got to do this because I'll get so many people. I remember I got so many people to read Empire of the Vampire, and they're like, "Why didn't you tell me it was this vulgar?" I was like, I said that he cusses nonstop in it. I was listening to it in the car with my kids. I'm like, why are you doing that? Isn't it? I just figured if I tell you it's adult fantasy, hey, don't listen to it in your car with your kids or earmuffs or something. I feel like I have to point that out a lot when I talk about grimdark stuff or just anything that has bad things happening to good people.
Yeah,
a lot of wartime fantasy. It's kind of going to happen, So it's unfortunate, but man, that's a damn good book. I didn't know you hadn't read it. I read a self pub off for you did. Wow.
Yeah. You finished it? The first book?
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, he sent me that super sweet Kickstarter edition.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
And when he sent that to me, I was like, yeah, without a doubt, I'll put it on the schedule next year. And makes me think of that other one that I want to read. Was it called Sons of Darkness? By 𝕤𝕤𝕤𝕤, is that his name?
Ghuraf Mohanty.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of like similar. So you want something that isn't just 14th century Europe medieval. I think that's kind of fantasy. You want to try something different. Yeah, I think you'd really dig it. And it's got the big monsters and stuff in it too. But yeah, it's really rad.
It's part Lovecraftian, right? I think.
Yeah, it's got some big creepy cosmic monsters there at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome, and the artwork in there is just amazing.
Yeah, I definitely have to read.
Man, I remember actually when I supported my first Kickstarter, I remember actually messaging you, be like, "How's this work? If they hit all these goals,
yeah,
like you have to keep adding on to this." And we're like, "No, if it hits those stretch goals, you get whatever it is or whatever." But these special editions, I don't think that's something that I'll ever get tired of.
Yeah, it definitely has taken up the publishing world really by storm lately. Like the past few years, it just exploded. Back then, it was really rare. I don't know whether that's ultimately a good or bad thing, but publishing houses and authors have said that it's mostly a good thing. Yeah, of course it is a good thing for them. It's more money.
Well, there might be more and more people these days that are moving away from physical media, but I was like, but the people who still love it, they still love it, and they spend money. So like I had heard that like Broken Binding never expected to blow up as fast as they did.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you kidding? People love a special edition book. And then they're like me, but they don't get rid of any of them. So they've got that new edition of Shogun. They said they were going to which is one of my favorite books I've ever read. And I was like, but I already got that amazing Blackstone Publishing one. And I've got the paperback, and I'm not getting rid of either of them.
Yeah. Just keep them all.
The other conundrum I think as collectors is we love the books that we love, and then we have like multiple copies of them.
Yeah.
Trouble. So I don't know about you, but I've got like 2 closets in the house now that are taking out books that I won't get rid of.
Oh really?
So it's a struggle. These are good problems to have, though. I'm not complaining about them.
Yeah, very true, very true. Joe Abercrombie also said the same thing about special edition. It really helps authors as well, and the business. I think it's really good, especially as you said. There were fears, right, that people are moving away from physical medium, but this special edition boom definitely proved that that's not the case.
Yeah, we're smaller, but like I said, those people do spend money for collectibles. They will.
Yeah,
and I mean, even if it's sadly. It still exists, but even it is the people that just scalp them. They get them and just to hold on to them for a year until they become scarce and then sell them. Because I've seen like Christopher's Kickstarter of the Diamond Edition of Empire of the Science. I've seen that thing go for like $3,000 on eBay, and I'm like, oh my god,
wow, that much!
And people are buying them. I'm just like, what in the world? So, there's a market for people that want to do stuff like that. I feel just like. Anything that's gifted to me, if I'm going to get rid of it, I donate it because I was like, somebody's going to send me something. I'm not going to make money off of it like some kind of monster, But I see people all the time. Like I've already seen, like Jay Kristoff sent me the Empire of the Dawn arc. I've already seen it for sale on Pango, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And it's like outrageous, and people will pay it too. And I let Jay know about it, and he was like, get in touch with me. I don't want you spending this much for these. He's like, get in touch with me. I want to get you one. You know, get in touch with me. I've seen that with Ryan's books too. Ryan Condon's books, like his art, just outrageous prices. And I'm just like, this is just nuts. So sadly, there is a market for it out there for those people, as well as people like us that just, want all the things.
It's crazy though. I mean, it's written on the front, not for resale, but still people keep selling it and people keep buying it, as you said. Just crazy to me. Like, this has been going on for so many years now, and it feels like it only got worse and worse.
Yeah, it's really, really tragic. And I get people all the time that are like, hey, what happened to that book I sent you? Did you sell it? And I'm like, no, I might have donated it though. Cause I was like, I try to tell people, like, you got to understand, I'm never gonna be able to read everything. And I get that when people ask if they can send me something, I say the chances are high I'm never gonna read it. There's just not enough. I have a real job, I don't have time to read everything that's sent to me. And sometimes, I don't have infinite space. I don't live in a TARDIS, and I'll download it because I'll think if there's a good chance that it'll get read by someone else, I want to do that for the author. Like I said, I sent a bunch to Andrew over at Andrew Twizzley Reads because he reads so many indies that I thought, hey, maybe this will give a chance to get some oxygen somewhere else. So I try to think forward like that, but I tell them what they said to me. It's like, I can show it in a book haul and I can give a link, but I'll probably never read it. And if they say, hey, no, thank you, I understand. So.
Yeah, agree. I always say that as well.
I wish I could read. I wish I could read everything.
Yeah, me too. And you don't do audiobooks, right?
What's that?
You're not using any audiobooks, right?
Oh no, I can't. I try. I remember everybody tell me how great the Dresden Files audiobooks were. So I said, well, I had a free Audible credit when I ordered something off Amazon. I said, well, I'll try with this briefcase, these short stories. And I listened to like 2 of them, and I was like, I couldn't tell you anything that happened.
Exactly.
I just don't listen. I think it's all the years of listening to like sports radio where you can kind of do your own thing and block stuff out. Or, as you'll learn very soon, when you have kids, you learn to block out certain noises, and you can't really turn that off.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's probably like everything, learning by doing.
Yeah, I think that you can have, auditory ADD and not have, because people are like, well, how do you read so much? If you have, it's like ADD it's not like as a whole, it's certain things. Like someone will be lecturing for an hour and I might hear 30 minutes of it. But, if I read the lecture, I'm going to be able to take in, 99, 100% of it. So I think it's a little different. I can just get into a different zone while I'm reading than I can if I'm listening. Because if I'm listening, I'm usually doing something else, and that distracts me.
Yeah.
It distracts me. I mean, does anybody just listen to an audiobook and just sit there like?
I don't think everybody does that.
Do you do both?
I try to do audiobooks, but like you, I just can't do it. Like I cannot concentrate enough. Like let's say if I want to do something mundane, like driving, sometimes it still doesn't insert into my brain. Like 15 minutes pass, and then I was, wait, what just happened in the past 15 minutes? So I cannot do audio. I always do reading through Kindle or physical books. That's it.
Yeah, and I'm sure when you talk about these books on a YouTube channel and you completely miss something, everybody calls you out for not understanding it or not knowing it or missing it. I'm like, if I listen to audiobooks, guys, I would miss probably 2/3 of the book, and you guys would I'd be like, no, I didn't. I listened to it and I didn't understand half of it. So.
I really tried. Maybe one day I would give it a try again, but I don't know. Well, you know this. You have read a Dungeon Crawler, Carl, so I'm sure many people have. It's still ongoing for me because I haven't started reading the series, but the number of messages, you have to do the audio.
My brother, do you know that people literally told me because I didn't like book 2 as much as book 1, it was because I didn't listen to the audiobook.
Oh, really?
It was nuts. And I mean, I get that a lot when there's I got it the whole time I was reading Dresden, so I understand that that's what people love or whatever. And that's great. I do. I wish I could do it. Yeah. But the Dungeon Crawler Carl fans are on another level with that shit, man. They will not let it go. I can't believe you're not doing this series justice by reading it. And I'm like, yeah, I know. The what it was actually made to do. Read it with your eyeballs.
I know. It's books. Like, it's books.
It's not like they were just created as audio dramas or something. But yeah, man, they are aggressive. Watch. I feel like they're really good about not rushing you through the series. I say that's a thing that I do appreciate about that fandom. Because I remember when I was doing Wheel of Time and when I was doing Dresden Files, they just wanted me to do one after the other. They didn't want me to do anything else. They wanted me to hurry up. When are you going to read it? And I'm getting that with Malazan fans right now. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, with that, I was like, they've been really cool about me, reading one every other month, every 3 months or so, and it's been fun. It's been fun. I
Yeah,
can't wait to hear what you think about it because I know we disagreed on Cradle, but
yeah,
this,
yeah.
this does what I wanted Cradle to do, so I think you'll probably enjoy it.
Well, if that's the case, then there's a good chance I will like this even more. And we have to give props, probably, most likely, to the narrator that there is this fandom surrounding the narrator of the audiobook. It's that good, probably, if we can do audio.
Was it Jeff Mays? Is that his name?
Jeff Hayes. Yeah, Jeff Hayes.
Yeah.
Jeff
So if I know an audiobook narrator's name, it's because I hear it so much in the comments.
Yeah, exactly.
Same. Right away that my God, now I forget his name. I was going to say I know his name. The guy that does the Red Rising audiobooks, he does a ton of books. Tim Gerard Reynolds.
Oh yeah,
I know that name, and I've listened to the guy, and I'm like, wow, it sounds like Scrooge McDuck. He's, people. God, Pacey, Stephen Pacey does.
Stephen Pacey. Yeah,
I hear about that one a ton, and I think the guy Michael Kramer does all the Brandon Sanderson stuff.
Yeah, Brandon Sanderson.
But then everybody just complains about him. They say he reads too slow.
That's
another thing. I don't understand. Like, for example, when people are audiobooking Malazan, I don't understand. I'm like, there's just so many names and locations and so much going on. And I was like, I have a hard time understanding it while I'm reading it. And you guys are audiobooking this, and you're audiobooking it on 2 speed? How are you doing this? It's like a superpower, man. I don't get it.
This is what I always say. I feel like they have real superpowers. Like someone even mentioned that they are listening at 3 times speed. I'm like, what? How?
Yeah, so I'm sure you get this question a lot. How do you read so fast? And I'm like, I don't think that I do. But 4 or 5 books a month, I don't think that's really super fast. What about these people that can audiobook 4 or 5 books a week?
Yeah.
They're the superheroes.
Oh my God, I relate to you so much on this. So much.
So Malazan, I know that you're a big fan, and I didn't dislike Malazan. What I said was like Reaper's Guild burned me out, and I was like, I needed a break. I felt like if I forced myself to finish, I was going to end up hate reading the end. I didn't want to. Who wants to make a journey like that and then hate read the end? So I said, okay, I'm going to take a little break. We're going on 4 years now.
That's not a little break.
But what I had said, and I'm glad they're taking their time, what I had said was by the time, because when Broken Body started making theirs, I got rid of my paperbacks because it was impossible to read off these mass market paperbacks that were this thick, and it's like 4-point font. I had to sit there with a magnifying glass to read it. I got rid of those. So what I said was when Broken Binding gets to 𝕤𝕠𝕠𝕠𝕠, I'll resume. But they're taking so long with it now. I'm like, well, I might want to resume before then. So I don't know. That's kind of where I currently am. I started 𝕤𝕠𝕠𝕠𝕠 twice, and just like I'm just not ready. I'm just not ready to go back. But that's the one I get the most is like, when are you going to finish Mel? And people they're just like mad. They're like, just quit if you're going to quit. I was like, if I was going to quit, I'd tell you. I got no problems telling you I quit a series. I have no problem not going back to that series. I'm going to go back. But now I'm like, shit. I would say I don't know if I understand what was going on, but I don't think I understood what was going on the first time.
I think to understand everything that goes on in Malazan, you have to read like multiple times. It's impossible to understand everything on the first time reading. I mean, like the Wheel of Time that you finish, it has so many names. I just finished Crossroads of Twilight, which
I'm impressed that you went back to this after how much you.
Oh my God!
You ranted about it in the beginning.
I know. I actually liked the first 3 books, and then it's probably because of too high expectations. So I got burned out by Shadow Rising. My expectations were simply too high when I was reading that book. I expected it to be like this, like all-consuming masterpiece, because so many people said that this is like the best Robert Jordan book before Brandon Sanderson takeover. Yeah. So I just think of it that way, and when it did not happen, I just get burned out even more.
It's hard. You tell yourself not to go into something with high expectations.
Yeah.
Hype it up so much you don't have an opportunity. I think that's what really affected me with Name of the Wind is people were telling me, "Oh, this is the most important fantasy book since Lord of the Rings." Really? This is incredible. I got to check this out. So when I read it, I was like, really? This is what everybody's like losing their mind about. And I've had time to reflect. And I'm like, a lot of people have told me, the first thing, their introduction to fantasy was Harry Potter, and then like Name of the Wind was the first adult fantasy they read. So it meant a lot to them. And I can see that, and I can admire something about, hey, this guy's a great writer, But I'm like, yeah, but I got Christopher Rocchio, who is a great writer and also like writes good story. So, what do you think about the second book in King Killer? Because I know that one's kind of a little more divisive.
I felt a bit. I still liked it, but I do think that it's inferior compared to the first book. I think if you dislike the first book already, I don't think you will like. You didn't read, right, the second book?
When
Yeah,
I
I don't think
when I was
I don't think you
lukewarm with
will
the
like
first book, everybody's like, "Well, shit, you won't like
it.
book
Yeah,
two." And I just didn't do it. Same with Gentleman Bastards. Is like I thought Lies Like More was fine, but everybody was always just so lukewarm on books 2 and 3. I was like, well, then I guess I'll have another series that I don't have to be mad it's not continuing. I'm fine with that, you know. So I don't know. I
true,
said
true.
if Doors of Stone like got released, that I would try again and I would read all 3 of them. I would do it, but you know, so far I haven't had to do that. So
Yeah.
I said that back in like 2019. So you know, if we're still waiting, we're still waiting. So I was really excited when you said you were looking for a banger. You'd had kind of a rough year and you weren't
Yeah.
having any like fabulous anything that was like knocking you over. So when you picked up Pillars of the Earth, I was so incredibly happy because I knew that was going to be a home run for you. But then you kind of had that thing of like where you start comparing everything. Every historical fiction I read now, I compare it to Pillars of the Earth, and it's like, man, that's not as good. But it's like, does it have to be?
Yeah.
It's tough. Historical fiction is kind of hit or miss for me. Like I love Shogun. I think it's incredible, you know, but I didn't really care for Giles Christian's Lancelot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's too bad.
I
That's
know you
another.
like him a lot.
What's the name? That's another historical fiction that I really want to read. It's Lonesome Dove that you
Oh
read. Right?
yeah, that's one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
Yeah, I really want to read that one. I need to find out why it's so highly praised.
I think everyone's liked it except Tori. Like everyone I've gotten to read has liked it except Tori. And she didn't dislike. I think she just gave it. She said it was like a 3-star book, and I was like,
oh. Okay. My heart.
I will say it's like it's. I feel like you know anything that we recommend, you're going to find someone who doesn't like it. But I was like Lonesome Dove. It was like I was batting 1,000. Like everyone who I read that because of you, and I loved it. That's all I ever heard. So when I saw that, I was like, you know. But you get the people who apologize to you for not liking a book that you talk about a lot. Because I get all the time, oh, I'm sorry, I tried reading Dune, didn't like it. You gotta apologize to me. I told you that most people probably wouldn't like it, you know?
Yeah. It's
what's
weird,
that book
right?
for you?
What is it? Probably not gonna lie, probably The Faithful and the Fallen something.
Really? I can't imagine why fantasy fans wouldn't like that series. It's weird,
but it happened several times. I don't know. People's comments on YouTube are really weird, man. Like just a few hours ago, I got this one person really mad about all of us booktubers talking about incomplete series. Like we must not talk about them. Like what?
When I picked, so I do my favorite fantasy series like every other year, and when I flipped it from Lord of the Rings to Song of Ice and Fire.
No.
I mean, they were so mad. They were like,
yeah.
They were not really because of Tolkien, but because I was picking an incomplete series as my favorite fantasy series ever. And they were just like insulted by that. But yeah,
I know. This mentality is something that I still find it really difficult to comprehend, but I don't know. It's internet.
I know, that's why I call it my 10, not the 10.
I know.
My 10 best, you know, but I mean, it's going to happen. Public space, you expect that a little bit. But
yeah.
I've never really gotten mad because someone else picks a series that isn't my favorite as their favorite. You know, I don't know, it's weird. To me, that's like arguing about when I see people arguing about what food is good or not. It's like, it's not going in your mouth. What do you care?
Yeah. It's my body. It's my mouth.
So it's never bothered me, but I don't know. Yeah, and I'm just going to talk about later this week. And you kind of mentioned you saw it lately. I've seen a lot of videos lately, and I think maybe it's like, I know YouTube does like this thing now where they have like YouTube has their own version of Chat GPT where it basically will give you like suggestions of videos to make. Is one of them lately to just say, hey, booktubers are liars, booktubers are terrible, booktubers are full of shit? Because I'm seeing so many videos popping up about how like booktubers, they don't do reviews anymore. They don't really read anything. It's like, guys, if I was going to make a channel to grift, it wouldn't be talking about books.
Yeah.
I was talking about a much bigger foothold. I'd be like complaining about Star Wars movies or something. That's what I would be doing. That's what makes money on YouTube, not talking about books. It's just hilarious that people think that you would lie about reading books. What's the point?
I know. Yeah. But it's so difficult, like, to get this across to them, like, to make them understand that we do make this out of passion, but not gonna lie, we do get paid from AdSense. We do get that money, which we usually use to buy books again.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like this is get out of jail free money. This isn't.
I know.
Job money. This is, you get to go buy more books, to sink back into the channel.
Yeah, but if we're really starting this with the mindset that we want to be rich from YouTube, trust me, books is not the
Not
topic we
book.
will go
Yeah,
with.
talk about this with
It's not.
Murphy, like that she gets accused of that a lot, and it's just like, do you really think I would have picked books to talk about
Yeah.
if I was here to make money? Yeah, it's
Video games,
so many more
video
big
games,
channels on
movies.
big
Yeah,
topics
yeah,
on YouTube than books. I just shocked that it's still as big as it is
yeah.
because being honest, I think the attention spans are getting lower and lower and lower, and
It's bad.
you're like me. You make your videos usually 15 to 20 minutes long as well, so
Yeah.
it's tough to kind of grab someone's attention for that long. So again, this isn't something that is being done for money. It's dumb.
I can see from the statistics that the attention span is definitely lower than before.
If I have a video where the engagement, the average view duration is over 6 minutes, it's impressive.
Yeah, that's already a good thing. That's a good thing.
So I can hold someone's attention for 6 minutes. So I was like, so my wife's like, so you just want to start making 6-minute videos? I was like, I don't think I could talk about anything for just 6 minutes. I ramble way too much.
Yeah,
but
it's the social media as well. I think our social media, everything is just built toward making shorter form content now, and people attention span will automatically decrease. It's kind of hard to blame them, I guess.
Yeah, I get on my wife about this. Is she gets mad when I say she watches TikTok. She doesn't watch TikTok. She watches Reels on Facebook, which is just TikToks onto Facebook. Anyway,
just the same.
She'll be like, oh, they don't really bother you because they're only 60 seconds. I'm like, yeah, but did you watch them for 3 hours? It's still.
I know, yeah. It's even worse than YouTube.
In the creator side of it, it's one of those sites where like, hey, look, I'll do this until nobody cares anymore, and then I probably will keep doing it because it's like my outlet, So again, I never expected anyone to give a damn about what I was reading, but I've met a lot of great people doing this, and I thought that the community is amazing. So it's been disheartening lately to see a lot of creators I feel like I know on a personal level making some of those videos. I'm like, really? Why are we just like insulting other creators now? Why are we accusing others of like not actually reading books and stuff? I was like, what's going on? So
yeah. It's weird. It has been weird. I've seen some of those videos as well. It just doesn't sit right with me. I think at the end of the day, we are all the same content creators. We should be supporting each of us. I mean, if not us, then who?
Right.
But yeah,
really sucky.
People, man. Sometimes.
So you got any big video plans on the horizon? Anything exciting? Think about it. Just kind of chilling, to see what comes to you naturally.
Yeah, it's just chilling. Like, I mean, with the baby coming in a few months, I think I'm posting videos, but those are like my standard videos, like book haul, the news section, sometimes probably reviews, but that's it. I don't think I have the mental capacity right now to actually post like these big videos at the moment.
Hey, I'm glad your SFF Spotlight videos do so well. Yeah. That's really, really awesome. That segment you've done has gotten so much clout that people, they think of you as to be the person to do that. And I think that's really great because I've been doing the weekly updates for a while, but I don't ever really talk about news.
Your weekly update is really good though. I kind of I liked it. It's like conversation.
Yeah, when I started, I was like, all I was going to do is just like reading blog. I wasn't going to do like individual reviews or my favorite anything. I was just going to do that each week to kind of update what I was reading. So I was glad that people were interested. And then everybody else, all the other creators, kind of started making like their own like weekly videos. I like that. But your SFF spotlights really do well. I think those are usually your most viewed, right?
Yeah, it's episode what now? 90 episodes. So 90. It's been going on for more than 2 years now.
God, I wonder how many weekly update episodes. I'm glad I didn't number them. Jeez.
Yeah, I was about to ask, how many weeks have you done this?
I've been doing it in 2020, I think. So yeah, it's and the only time I've ever missed is when I was on vacation. I usually do it when I get back. So it's So you're like 52 a year. Probably over about 400 by now. Yeah. And if I went back and watched those, I'd probably get sick at just seeing how terrible they are.
Nah, I don't think they're terrible though. I think it serves the intention to talk with your audience. So yeah, you did a great job on that. I think that's why a lot of people started to do the same thing on their channel as well.
Yeah, I remember people all ask me, like, "Hey, is it okay if I do a weekly update on my channel?" I'm like, I don't own the word weekly or update. Yes.
Yeah.
They would change the name or something like that. I thought it was really nice that people were asking me and stuff. I thought,
it's super nice, nice.
I kind of like but I get people that do ask me, did you do like a little news segment like Petrik does? It's like, Petrik's got that on lock. Watch his channel. He can tell you what's going on. It's like he's more in touch with what's going on in the industry than I am anyway. So it's really great though that you kind of got that segment that people will associate you with, and if anybody else would do it, they kind of be like, oh, this is kind of like what Petrik does, right?
I do miss making more book reviews, though. I know that
Oh man,
they doesn't get good reviews in general, but in the first place, I think both of us can agree that we made the channel to do more book reviews in the first place. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day I will be back to post more.
Well, see, and then that's the other side of it is people will say, "Oh, well, you're only making stuff to get views because you stopped doing book reviews. You don't get it." And I'm like, what I'm doing is what my audience wants, and if they don't want to watch book reviews, why am I making them? I want to do stuff that people want to watch.
Yeah.
I'm not doing what I want to do. It's just that if people don't want to see that, I mean, I want to make stuff that people want to see. I listen to my audience, and if that's what they're telling me, okay. Besides, every time I make a book review, I get told I'm a shill. So
that word. I got so many of those.
It was so weird with the Devils, wasn't it? It was just
The Devils. Wow, it was.
Has really Joe reached the level of success now that's like Brandon Sanderson? If you're not dunking on it, you're doing it wrong. Is he reaching those levels of success now? Because it just seemed like no one was even talking about Joe Abercrombie. Now it's just like, if you like the book, you're a shill. And I was like, where did that book come from? So crazy.
It's so weird. Like, there are thousands of people that are not book reviewers that actually like those books. So are they all shill?
I mean, I tell them all the time. You know, there's people who still think I get paid by Amazon to talk about Kindles. I wish. The last one cost $300, so I wish they wouldn't even send me a demo unit, man. Jeez, like I pulled hundreds of these things for you guys. You guys don't even. I asked if I could have the Kindle Color Soft just to share, and I would send it back to them after I was on. I'm like, nope, we don't do that. So that's why it's hilarious. People are like, oh, did you get your Amazon check? I was like, maybe they spelled my name wrong or something because it's never shown up here, but I'm waiting for it. That'd be great. That'd be amazing. But no, I do get offers a lot, and I'm sure you do too. Like, how much to read and review my book, and I'm like, I don't.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'll never do that. I'm never opening that can of worms. I mean, I'm just now to the point where I'll take a sponsor once in a while if I feel like it's something that my audience can find useful, I think. But you sure you get his offers like I do for like, I guess for like nail polish and eyelashes and stuff. Like, you really think those are on my channel?
It's so random sometimes.
There's so many sponsors that I get offers and I always turn them down. There's some ridiculous. And some I just think they're just, I don't want to get like I had to turn Temu down and they were offering a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
So people are like, oh yeah, you're doing this for the money. I find it hilarious. I was like, I would have a Surfshark VPN and all that stuff before every video, Battle of the Clans. I'd have all that stuff if I was doing this for the money because I do get those offers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So I'm choosy with those. I try not to do more than 2 or 3 of them a year. Really, I just like to help out authors.
I think for me it needs as best as I have tried some that doesn't have any connection. Well, a bit of connection, I guess, with VPN because of where I live. So VPN is actually very useful where I live. Like back then,
I wasn't showing shade that. I was just saying that was the most popular one.
No. That's okay. That's okay. But this is just a good example, I think, to talk about this. Like with VPN, for example, for me, where I live, without VPN, I couldn't access a lot of websites. I couldn't even access Reddit. Probably for the better.
No kidding.
Yeah. So with VPN, I try to take those, and it doesn't happen often though. If it's too random, like Temu, I didn't accept that. I got that as well. I didn't accept it.
Yeah, there's something out there that I'm just like, I don't think I want to be associated with that. Yeah. But that's why I just find it hilarious because I did an ad read recently because look, I'm gonna be honest, my kid had some dental bills that were outrageous, and I was like, you know what? I'll take a sponsor this month because it would help a lot. Yeah. And usually I was thought for sure when I did the first one that I was going to get a lot of it. Everyone was like, hey man, I'm so excited for you. I'm thrilled for you. It's awesome. That's really awesome. You're getting like, it was Audible. I thought, hey, that's something obviously my audience could use. But this last one was the first one I got because it was a video that did a little better than usual.
Okay.
So a lot of first time people were seeing it and they're like, oh, you're doing like an ad read, unsubscribe.
Oh no.
Okay, well, do it. I mean, I've got a timestamp. You can just skip it. It's 60 seconds. But I mean, I get it. I see people with some ad reads, and I just skip them. I just go past them. But I'm never going to criticize any creator for trying to make some money, man. I get it because this does take a lot out of you. It does.
These things are hard. These things are hard.
Equipment is expensive. Somebody's upgrading their camera. They want new lights, and something that's just not in your budget. It helps out. So I will never criticize anyone for taking a sponsor.
I think with many things, we just don't know just how hard it can get until we actually start doing it. Like YouTube back then, I always think, you know what? It's just talking to camera. We can do this. We can do this. And then we started. This is so difficult.
Yeah, I can't. I don't even. I used to always check and respond to every single comment, and I'm just like, I just can't anymore.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to reach that stage, which is, I think, personally speaking, that's quite amazing, because it has been like 5 years. Until for the past 4 years, I have replied to pretty much almost every comment, even the hate comments. But now I don't think I can do that anymore.
So when you get a nasty comment, do you have like me? I just tell them thanks for watching, because I'm just like, they want you to say something nasty back. Do you have like a response, or do you ever get into it with them?
I think I have got into some bad response, probably a few times, like when I'm in a really bad mood.
Yeah,
but most of the
wrong time, and I'll backspace a lot. But yeah,
yeah. But most of the time, I just sorry you feel that way. Hope your next video or hope your next book is better. That's it.
Yeah, sorry it didn't work out for you. Something like that.
If they replied again, then well, it's up to them. Let them talk to the wall.
Yeah, I think that's where doing the sports and the movie, it taught me, don't engage with idiots like that, because it's just nothing positive is going to come out of it. Yeah. But I did hit one the other day, and I felt kind of bad about it. Basically said that I said that like male authors weren't allowed to write sex scenes in books. And I was like, that's not what I said at all. And it was before I had coffee, and I just went on them. I was like, when you learn how to listen better, we can talk about it.
No.
I was like, man, that is so unlike me.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. Sometimes these comments, these offensive comments, can get into our head when we're not in the right reading, well, not in the right headspace. Usually we are more calm, but sometimes we're just human. It happens.
Yeah.
We
get like the 1% bad comments. Every time once in a while we have a 1% bad response. I think it can happen, but for the most part, I mean, I still read most of them, but it's hard to respond to every one of them sometimes, because I mean, even like my worst videos has like over 100 comments, and it's just like, basically, if I want to give up ever talking to my patrons on Discord, or anything else, or talking to my kids, I'm just gonna kind of just take those as they go and try to respond to them if I can, but I don't let it to where I used to. And that's why I need to update my intro video on my channel, where I'm like, hey, what makes my channel different is I respond to every comment. I'm like, yeah, I made that like back in 2021, There's so many things on like the marketing side that I wish I could do better. It's just a matter of time. I've tried to branch out. I've tried to do a media channel. I've tried to do a sports channel. It's just like, it's so hard trying to pour that kind of effort into other channels when I want to keep the focus on this one clearly, but also, you have a real job, you have a family and things like that. And you'll see soon, your kids don't like it when you're reading. You come right up and take it right out of your hand. It's great. Do you guys know the gender yet? Or are you guys going to?
Yeah, we know the gender. Yeah, it's a boy.
Excited?
Yeah, excited. I think I posted about that on my reveal on Instagram, but not too many people noticed. I purposefully put a boy's life in that.
But it seems like, hey, I think I love boy's life.
Not a lot of people know about that.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, I got 2 boys. They're easier, I do believe, and I think it's great. It's gonna be awesome. I'm excited.
How old are they now? Both of them.
13 and 10.
13 and 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the real trouble's about to start. Yeah. Teenagers, because if they're anything like I was as a teenager.
Oof. Yeah.
I tried to get my so I used to read to my oldest kid each night before bed, because really, we started with Harry Potter. He liked it, but I read Percy Jackson to him, and he was just like all in the Greek mythology, and he loved that series.
Oh, nice.
And then it got to a point where, and honestly, I enjoyed that too. It was funny. It's like that's like, I'm gonna be facepalming. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. But you don't have to grow up with some of these things to really enjoy them, guys. But I got to a point where I was like, okay, well, he doesn't really. We started reading the Percy Jackson sequel series, and he wasn't really into it anymore. And I was like, he's getting older. He doesn't probably want his dad to read to him at night anymore. I mean, he probably would, but it's just it's probably it's time to move on. And so I try to encourage him to read on his own. He's not doing. I think he's gonna be an audiobooker because I read to him. So at least I collected that in my family. But this summer, I brought up the idea, because I knew that those beautiful inheritance books were coming up for Broken Binding. I've never finished the series.
Oh,
So
okay.
I tried to be like, hey, what do you say? You love the How to Train Your Dragon movies. I thought 𝕤𝕗𝕟 would be a great book for you to try as like your starter fantasy book.
Oh, yeah,
And I
true,
was like,
true.
we'll read like 2 chapters a day and then we'll talk about it the other night. He could not be less interested. So I was like,
Oh,
it's sad because like I want my kids to read, but I don't want to force it on them,
yeah,
because
yeah,
they'll never
yeah.
want to do it. But I just think back to when I was that age, if I had had Netflix and a tablet and every video game system, I would have been reading as much as I did either. So it's sucky. I kind of did this, I kind of bore this, but I was looking for an excuse, I think, to find a way to finally read all of 𝕤𝕤𝕗𝕣. Have you read all of it? All the 𝕤𝕗𝕟
Yeah,
series?
I have read only the first book and I disliked it.
Well, you read it after you started reading a lot of adult. Yeah, see, so I remember trying to read it. I read it right after I finished Harry Potter, and I liked book 1, and then I just never finished book 2. So when I started this channel, I was like, oh, that'll be something fun to talk about. I'll read that again. I read book 1 again. And then I started reading book 2, and I stopped in the same spot as I did the first time. So I was like, well, there's something about this, because my wife loves the series, and she's just stunned that I don't like it. So I thought reading it with him would be a nice experience, but he's just not interested.
I think it's just one of those books that we have to read when we're so much younger, I think. If we're like at this age and we are so used to many other epic fantasy out there, it just doesn't work. At least the first book. I'm not sure about the rest of the series.
Yeah. See, I've slowly been reading more YA. So like Percy Jackson, I really enjoyed it. I've liked some of Neil Shusterman.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, maybe I could try this again. And if he had said yes, I'd have done it, and we'd have read the whole series this summer. But I'm going to blame my kid, guys. That's why I haven't read it. The covers are so beautiful. Again, like I said, it makes me want to try again. And that's Jeff Brown's doing like amazing work.
I think he will come back though to reading. I think that's how it works. I used to really love reading novels when I was still very young, and then I just complete dislike of reading novels like for many years until like I said 2016 I started reading again.
Yeah, I'd say I didn't start really getting back into fantasy until they said, hey, we're going to be making a Wheel of Time TV show, which is funny now to think about. But they said, we're going to make a Wheel of Time TV show. I was like, okay, well, I'm finally going to read Wheel of Time then. And that was like me finally getting back into fantasy. And then this whole rock rolling downhill, just picking up snow as it went along. It was really something that's kind of grew on its own. So I'm happy for it. But also now I'm like, well, I've got more stuff to read now than I've ever been able to read. And that's frustrating.
Yeah, I do want to finish that series, though. I only have 4 books. I'm finally done with that stupid Crossroads of Twilight. So stupid. I hate that book so much.
Yeah, so for me with Crossroads of Twilight, it's kind of the opposite. What I tell you, when you start reading Dresden Files, you're like, oh, wait, you get the changes. It's so amazing. When you start reading Wheel of Time, people tell you how dumb books 7 through 10 are. And it's like, well, this isn't encouraging to me. But especially Crossroads of Twilight. People are like, oh, you just got to just soldier through, just plow through it. Through it. So when I got to it, I was just like, it was whatever. It wasn't as bad as I had told, because I was expecting just like pure dog shit. And I was like, I thought books 8 and 9 were kind of dog shit. So maybe that's what it was for me. But yeah, once you get to Knife of Dreams, man, I think it's really awesome. And
that's the next one.
Sando guy, I think you'll really like what he does with the last 3. Gathering Storm is one of my favorite books. So I think that you'll like it a lot.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
I admire you for going back, because I remember reading your review for Shadow Rising, just like laughing, being like, have the wheelies come for you yet? I was
they came for me for sure. But at the same time, they did applaud my decision to go back to the series again. And I actually really love book 5 and 6, which I think is a bit controversial, I guess, at least for book 5. Fires of Heaven.
It's a little iffy on some things. Like I didn't like the circus stuff. That drove me crazy.
No one.
That was still just like the main story I liked. I'm a big Moraine guy, so I loved it. Amazing book, yeah. But that's impressive that you went back to it. And I still think I'm gonna throw some heat at you here. I still think it's your fault that people won't give James Islington a try, because your review on Goodreads said with Shadow Boat Was Lost, imagine the Wheel of Time without all the fluff and the boring stuff.
Yeah.
And all the wheelies got so pissed, and they refused to like that series because of that review, I think. So when I read it, I was like, I don't get any of this at all.
Yeah. A lot of Wheel of Time fans really dislike that first book. A lot of Wheel of Time fans. It's quite hilarious though, because James Arlington really wants Wheel of Time fans to actually like that series. There are some mixed comments. Don't get me wrong, some Wheel of Time fans do like, but there are plenty of Wheel of Time fans that dislike the series as well.
Yeah, I'm getting more and more anti-reread, but man, 𝕤𝕦𝕣𝕟 is definitely one I'd read again, just because, knowing the things that you know now, going back, I'm pretty sure that the signs were all kind of there in the earlier books. And like, I think about things that happened in Shadow of What Was Lost. I was like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
You get this, like, oh, yeah. So back. And, I still feel like there's unfinished stories in there. And when I talked to him, I told him, I was like, we ever going to get this story? And he's like,
yeah.
But you'll probably get it. So I'm hoping he does revisit that world again.
I do think with the high praise and also high readership for the Wheel of Domaini, I do hope people will check out the 𝕤𝕦𝕣𝕟 trilogy as well. If they have read the 𝕤𝕦𝕣𝕟 trilogy, then they will know they're into something truly special with the hierarchy, with the later books. Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah, because whenever I was telling everybody, I was like, you guys are so excited for Wheel of Domaini, you're like, I can't wait for book 2. It was like, go back and read 𝕤𝕦𝕣𝕟. I really think. And I remember when I got the weirdest responses to it as I started reading. Oh, he's not even as good as Brandon Sanderson. Oh, he's not as good as the most popular fantasy author right now. Wow, what an asshole! It's really weird. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, this is because of Petrik said it was like Wheel of Time except without the crap.
Probably.
So if you ever doubt your digital footprint, there it is. There it is.
Oh my god, yeah.
I try to tell people, and I know you do too. Hey, don't take my word for it. This is how I felt about it. But people will be like, "Well, you didn't like it. I'm taking it off my list." And I'm like, "Well, that's not what I was telling you to do."
True.
But, yeah.
I think it's interesting that a lot of people do put that much faith in our opinion, but at the same time, do please, even though there are some things that we dislike, you should still try the book for yourself. If it sounds interesting to you, you should still try reading it. You might just end up liking it much more than we did.
That's when I get that fun comment about everything you hate. I've been really liking lately. Well, now you know what books to try.
That's a way to recommend books.
So I think a good final topic here is like, what are some series that you're in the middle of that you haven't finished that you really, really want to, besides Wheel of Time? Because mine's Malazan, obviously. But what's some series that you're in the middle of that you are really anxious to finish, or you feel like you need to soldier on and finish them or go back to them?
It's definitely Stormlight Archive.
I haven't read 5?
I haven't read Wind and Truth. The comments have been so brutal to me because I haven't read this book yet. But here's the thing. As I said, it's mental capacity. The book is huge. It's huge. Like 500.
I'm still like shocked. I read it in like 11 days, and I was like, man, I was reading like 200
how did you do it, man?
Had vacation. I just dove all into it that week, and I wanted to be able to talk about it while everybody was still talking about it. And then it was one of those like, well, I don't think I can review this for like another month or two because I got to think about this for a while.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, you remember how it used to be. It used to be, bro, if you make a review about a Sanderson book and you don't think it's God's gift to humanity, you're going to get roasted in the comments.
True.
And in this one, I had more people mad I was not mean. I was like, what in the hell has happened in the last 5 years? Because, you can go into your analytics and you can see unsubscribers or subscribers to a certain video. And you can go to my Rhythm of War review where I was not very positive on it. And I think I lost like 2,000 subscribers over the life of that video. So it's like Sanderson fans just really don't like hearing, anything constructive criticism at all. So I was stunned with Wind and Truth that people were mad I wasn't meaner to it.
Yeah.
I was mixed on it, very, very mixed, as I'm sure you've heard most people are on it.
Yeah.
Interesting where you fall, because I think you liked Rhythm of War more than I did. So
yeah, I still think that Rhythm of War is the weakest of all the Stormlight Archive, but I still liked it. But
I think this one passes it. So I'll be. Well, I don't know. The flashback character was good. You got Zeth. That was good. Yeah, I like that much more than Vinley. But my problem with the Stormlight books are like, they used to be like, okay, 1,100 pages is not enough because the story's great. Now it's like, do you really need 1,200 pages to tell the story? That's kind of how it's gotten the last couple of books. So it does feel like, I just got to make each book longer than the last one. You know what? Brandon Sanderson's very successessul. So clearly he should just keep doing what he keeps doing. And hopefully, if I ever do make it a Dragonsteel, he'll actually speak to me, So
will you go to Dragonsteel?
I want to. just don't know if I'm going to make the logistics work out this year. I'm going
Oh,
to Christopher's thing in North Carolina in November because I'm going to be emceeing that for him.
oh,
And so I
that's
was
really
like,
near.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I already had I got actually accepted as a panelist for Worldcon, and I actually had to say no. Sucks. Yeah, I
Oh.
just can't make the time off work and everything work. It sucks because I wish I got to the Petrik level where people are like, "Hey, we'll pay to fly you out here. We'll pay for your hotel." Yeah, I wish I got to that level. I ain't got to that level yet. No one's paying.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that for Nexus. Yeah, my friend paid for me. My friend paid for my trip, thankfully.
I want to though, because Dragon Still last year was like serious FOMO. I'm seeing like pictures. I'm like, Jesus, every single booktuber's there except me, and I had authors that were there, well-known authors, like saying, "Hey, are you here? I wanted to say hi." And I'm like, "Oh my
Yeah,
God."
yeah.
Like, not even funny. Yeah, so it was. I'd like to go. It's just sometimes it's still might, because I feel like I can get the time off work. That one's just kind of making the budget work, So
Yeah, true. It's expensive, this kind of trips.
airfare and lodging is outrageous,
Yeah.
especially November and December because so many people are traveling for the holidays. It's wild, but I hope to make it to the Broken Binding thing eventually. We can get that worked out because I've never been to Europe. I'd love to go. I'd love to go to the UK. I've never been.
Okay.
I've never been to the other side of the ocean. I would love to visit for sure. So that's my hope.
Maybe next year there will be an event. Probably the Broken Binding told me.
It's
I don't know.
It's brought up a couple times. I've never really gotten to anything like concrete about it.
Yeah.
But, I hope so. It'd be really, really awesome.
Well, if that happens, hopefully we get to meet in person.
yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, we can do a co-thing like you and Ryan did.
Yeah.
Have you read Ryan's new book yet?
That is another one that I need to read.
It's like every massive book. So we got that. It's already out, but I've got that. Yeah. I've got the last Sun Eater book. I've got Empire of the Dawn. I've got Strength of the Few. It's like all these massive books. Joe Hill's new one is like It's like every massive book. So it's like basically like the last quarter of the year, I'm going to be reading like 6 books because they're massive, man. I can't believe how massive these books are. So
yeah, I feel the same. I think it will be mostly similar for me. I think next month in August, I probably will read probably 3 books. That's per month.
Yeah, Brian said that. Yeah, he said he was okay, but I think his feelings were a little hurt when I was like, "Brian, don't take this the wrong way. I don't have time for a 450,000 word book right now." So I was like, "I can read. I'm going to read it this fall." And he's like, "Hey, man, that's no problem. It works for you." But I think he was a little hurt, because I read the first 3 in like a month. But I was like, I was reading at a much higher clip back then, I think. But
well, I think on the plus side, I think Ryan, just like Sun Eater now, are in good space. Their series are popular now, super popular.
Yeah, Christopher doesn't think that he'll be able to sell out this event. I'm like, we got like this many seats. I don't want to get too many details away, but he's like, we got like this many seats, and I'd be surprised if we sell like half that. I was like, in Dallas, man, we had people driving, over 100 plus people driving from 3 states away to come see you and get your books. Wow. You don't think they're going to come to an event that you're hosting for your final book?
Yeah.
So I get it. It's success is something that eluded him for a while. Now that he's got it, he's not sure how to kind of approach that. And I guess I can understand. The level of success that we have is plenty for me. I don't need to go to the grocery store and people know who I am.
I know.
I'm glad I do have like a niche thing because I've had one. Have you ever got recognized out in public?
Not in my country, not a lot. Only once in my country, but when I was in Edinburgh. That was in Ireland. Was it Ireland? Scotland. Yeah. Someone recognized me on the train, and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, it happened once here. Because almost all my audience is outside of the city that I live in. And we're at Sam's Club. It was just a little warehouse place where you can go shopping for stuff in bulk. And we were there, and like a guy comes to me, shakes my hand, says, "Hey, man, I'm a big fan." I'm thinking he's selling something. I'm like, "Man, I got my wife and kids here and shit. Can you not be doing this or whatever?" And I'm like, "Of what?" He's like, "Of the channel." I'm like, "Oh, I had no idea what he was talking about." And another time at a bookstore, which was hilarious. I mean, you think a bookstore, that makes sense. Yeah. But I was in a section they had called Book Talk, which I don't do. But they had
okay.
And someone like came over and was like, "Oh, hey, can I take a picture with you or whatever?" And my youngest kid's just like, "Are you famous?" So yeah, that's kind of interesting. Every once in a while, that you think about it from that level, that my kids are like, people actually know who you are. That's weird, But whereas my oldest one, when they had like your parents come to school, kind of thing and talk about their careers or whatever. And I went there to go talk to him about working in finance. And he tells everyone there that I'm a YouTuber. They don't want to talk about me in finance. They want to talk, what's it like being a YouTuber? So that's what the about. Now my dad has a real job. My dad does YouTube, you know. So,
oh my God, that's so funny.
Hey, I appreciate you taking time to do this. Is really awesome. Our time zones are way different, and you've been hustling to get everything. I can't wait to see what the new office looks like, man. It's gonna be rad. I'm guessing there's gonna be books in the background.
Yeah. It's all books. It's all books in the entire room. Finally, I can have a space for myself like this.
It's probably pretty. I mean, it's a hassle, but it's probably pretty neat to be able to reorganize your books and stuff and get them the way that you want. Because I have no organizational method back here. Just hey, these look good together. Here's my hardcover.
I'm kind of obsessive about these kind of things. I like being organized. Yeah, personally, that's how I am, and that's why it's taking me much longer to actually organize these books. There are a lot of them.
So I alphabetize my Stephen King books, and that drives people crazy. And I'm like, publication order. I'm like, what? Publication order? That's crazy. Who's going to do that? What year did that book come out? And I want to be able to say, hey, there it is. It's in the L's, you know? So that's the only organization I have. Everything else is just, hey, this is a series. I try to get a series together on one shelf. And authors keep writing books this big. I can't do that. And like Brandon Sanderson's 2 shelves now. It's weird. Song of Ice and Fire only has 5 books out, but I'm over a shelf and a half now because I can't get rid of anything, you know. Books, man. I don't know if there's like any secrets you can tell me off air about some deals that Broken Bindings got coming, but I do have some hopes because every once in a while they'll come out with something like, wow, how'd they get the deal worked out for that? So where I don't think that anything really is off the table at this point. I'm excited for what the future holds because as well as we're doing, I imagine we're gonna get some bangers here very, very soon. I was shocked when they got Hyperion.
I was shocked as well.
I'm still hoping for Dark Tower. That's my Dark Tower, but I'm pretty sure that Stephen King doesn't need any Broken Binding money. You know, he's good.
Yeah, it will be hard to get that kind of series. Stephen King is like, I don't know, he's like one of the most popular authors in the world.
He doesn't need any help. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure his publisher is going to be quite minor. You know, that's what it is. Well, awesome, man. I appreciate everything, and thanks for all the recommends, man. You keep me from ever getting bored in some of the things you recommend. So thank you for that, and I look forward to all the new ones that you're going to recommend, and maybe some that I'll feel differently because I am doing Rift War next year. I know you were kind of looking at Rift War. See how I feel on that.
Yeah,
and I hope you like Lonesome Dove when you get to it because you don't have enough big books to read right now. Why don't you throw them?
I have a lot. But seriously, thank you so much for inviting me. It has been fun.
I hate that it took this long, honestly. I was thinking about it. I was like, I think I had you on like the Saturday night thing that I used to do, but never had you on the.
Yeah. It's a long time ago.
It's past due. So I appreciate it, man. And thanks for everything you do and keep on doing it.
Yeah, likewise.